Take a look. This is what $2.5 million of fentanyl looks like.
Yeah, the Forsyth County Drug Task Force recently seized these 22 pounds of the dangerous drug. It's part of a massive nationwide crackdown.
It's hard to believe how much fentanyl the DEA has actually found in just the last 4 months.
Seized over 10 million fake pills and 982 pounds of fentanyl powder, enough to kill 36 million Americans.
Let that sink in. And law enforcement says this is just the beginning. Mexican cartels will keep shipping more and more of it right here.
So we're going to dig into what makes this drug even more dangerous than others and why investigators are fearing that the drug dealers are targeting children.
Let's start though with how Lisa DeVeo says it's so easy to buy fentanyl-laced drugs online.
God, I miss him. Really. Sorry.
It's been more than 2 years since Amy Neville lost her son Alex to fentanyl poisoning. The 14-year-old got fentanyl-laced oxy through Snapchat.
I wish that it was still the shady drug dealer down the street in an alley, because Alex was a big chicken. He would have never put himself in that type of situation. But the fact that this dark thing is brought into the light through social media, it made it very easy to be done.
The former Aliso Viejo yoga instructor is now the vice president of Void, a nonprofit that has a new report titled Best Practices to Rid Social Media of Drug Trafficking. It claims social media companies aren't doing enough to prevent kids from reaching dealers.
There is a very, very dark world on these social media platforms, and it's right there in our kids' pockets.
We contacted Snapchat. In a statement, the company said it has worked with counter-narcotics, law enforcement, and other experts to raise awareness on fentanyl, immediately banned drug dealers' accounts, and blocked search results for drug keywords, and much more. Neville says that's a good start, but that's not enough.
We're at a point now where the obvious stuff doesn't quite work. But again, these drug traffickers stay ahead of it. They start using symbols. They start misspelling words.
Now I'm going to give it a try on Facebook by spelling #OXY. And it gives me an error page. Now I'm going to try it by purposely misspelling Oxycontin. And I found a post with a video of pills. The report suggests making it easier for people to report traffickers and enabling parental controls for young users, but also wants a third party to monitor social media companies and their policies.
Here's what they're getting right. Here's what they need to improve on, or they're completely missing the mark. That I won't feel good about these things until we can have it verified independently.
Well, add to the concern, there is a new drug called rainbow fentanyl. Yes, I mean, when you look at it, it just looks like it's candy, right? The bright colors appear to be less threatening, possibly disguised as candy or something like it.
Pills, narcotics that are meant to look like candy, it's a concern for any parent. Or kids could be taking these pills not knowing that they're taking fentanyl when they think they're just eating candy.
The CDC says last year more than 107,000 Americans died of drug overdoses. 66% of them were blamed on synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Now, part of the reason for the rise in the overdoses, law enforcement says drug dealers are secretly cutting cheap fentanyl into other drugs to save money. Because it is so powerful, it can create the same effect for much less cost. Some dealers are even going as far as making counterfeit prescription pills like Adderall.
And because it is so powerful, there's a lot of talk online saying even just touching fentanyl could kill you. Maybe if you find a dollar bill on the ground that had some on it or on a shopping cart. That's a big claim. Before you get worried, let's verify. So is it true? Can someone easily overdose by touching something that has fentanyl on it? Our sources, cardiologist Dr. Paula Coley, the American College of Medical Toxicology, and the CDC. The CDC describes fentanyl as a synthetic opioid that's 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. In the medical setting, it's used as a pain reliever. But just like other opioids, it's also illegally used for recreational use. The American College of Medical Toxicology states inhalation is an exposure route of concern. But when it comes to just touching the drug itself, the doctor says that's not something people should really worry about.
Risk of fentanyl overdose with picking up a dollar off the street is incredibly low.
The American College of Medical Toxicology states incidental skin absorption is unlikely to cause opioid toxicity.
And from a dollar bill, it's highly unlikely that those small concentrations that might have been present on the dollar bill would have led to an overdose.
So we can verify, no, someone cannot easily overdose by touching something that has fentanyl on it. However, you do need to make sure the opioid does not get into your nose or mouth, because that can be very dangerous.
Well, fortunately, there's more resources dedicated to reversing the overdoses. Agencies in the Triad want to make Narcan more accessible. There's a free Narcan vending machine at the entrance of the Forsyth County Detention Center, right there in the lobby. It's available every day from 8 to 8. Just 4 other counties in our state, including Wilkes County, have this machine.
You might be thinking, I don't need that, I don't do drugs. It's never a bad idea, though, to have it on hand, especially if you're a parent or you have a lot of people over.
And just to reiterate, it is free. WFMY News 2 at 6 is up next.